Today is the longest day of the year, which means tomorrow we have finally reached summer. Not only that, today is actually supposed to be the hottest day of the year so far in the UK as well. So although it's Friday, I'm not working because I took the day off because I didn't want to miss out on this. I didn't want to be sat in my sweaty office on the warmest day of the year. And you might be able to see at the moment it is quite cloudy. It was much sunnier earlier, so I'm really hoping the sun will come out. And something else you may have noticed is that I am coming to you from my garden. Now, this is thanks to popular demand. And when I say popular demand, I mean my friend asked for it. Hello, Lauren. I don't really have much to do in the garden today. My plan was to just have a bit of a nap this afternoon in the garden, but I've got a couple of things to do. I need to tidy up a banana plant which has been looking a bit scruffy because of the wind. I'm going to move around some plants that are not at their best and that are just going over. Plants that are going into the best back into those positions. But other than that, I'm just going to take you around the garden and give you a little bit of a garden update because it is looking this year, I think, because we've had such a warm, sunny start to the year, my garden is absolutely looking the best it ever has done, so I'm so pleased. But with it being the longest day, once again this year I'm going to go to the Peak District tonight, like I did last year. If you are a viewer that's been around a little while, if you're not, I will link the video here. So we're going to go to probably Mam Tor to watch the sunset, and then tomorrow I'm going to tell you a little bit my summer bucket list, because I really feel like this is going to be a good summer, or you know what, I feel like I am going to make it into a good summer. So I really want to do some fun summer things, and I've put together a little bit of a list of what I would like to do, so I'll run through that with you later on. Something I absolutely need to update you guys on immediately is my tree lily. So again, if you are not new around here, you will remember last year's tree lily, which got up to at least 6 foot in height. But let me show you this. This is a raised bed. So if I stand at the height of the raised bed, this is the height of my tree lily. So higher than my fingertips. What should we say, at least 8 foot. But it's getting ready to open, and some of my other lilies are open already, but don't think it'll be open by the time I've finished this video. But yeah, wow, what a tree. Now, I love lilies for a tropical garden. I think they are so reliable, firstly, and so effective. They smell beautiful. So I do have quite a few lilies in the garden, but I also have a cat, and lilies are very, very poisonous to cats. So luckily my cat is not particularly curious. He is not one that chews anything, so I'm fairly confident of having lilies in my garden. But what I do have is I have them in a raised bed away from where my cat will go. So I would say if you have cats, be very, very, very careful about whether you even have lilies in your garden. And if you do, ooh, a bee. If you do have them, be very careful about where you put them. So this area is a little bit of a mishmash. I've got some potted plants and then some actually planted in the ground a little bit further back. There is a immature Trachycarpus, I would say. I think I've had it for 3 or 4 years, but it's been planted there for 3 years. It's not got very big at all, so they are quite slow growing. And I think just note, you can see it, this is the cordyline that was the baby of my cordyline that died in that horrible winter we had a couple of years ago. So I'm quite pleased how that's come on. It's not bad size at all. And the silver one is newly planted, and I also got, looks like nothing at the moment, but I also got a hollyhock for £1.50 from the corner shop. So they end up about 6 foot tall. With this one's going to have beautiful salmon flowers, so I'm looking forward to how that's going to look a little bit later in the year. I just pulled down these lilies from the prime spot up there, and they are absolutely beautiful when they're in full bloom. They're so neon, but as you can see, they have gone over. And these here are actually seed pods that are getting ready to start forming seeds. But forming seeds takes up so much energy for flowers and plants. So if they're a plant that you don't want seeds from, and you would like the plant to put the energy into forming its flowers for next year, then I would recommend you actually cut away the seed pods, but leave the green. So the energy is not going into the seed pods anymore, but it's still getting energy from the photosynthesis from the green. So that's going to be my plan. I'm going to leave this one because it's still very cute, but cut away the rest of the seed pods, and then I'm going to put it in a less obvious position in the garden. Because I've only got a really small garden, space is an absolute premium. So I just kind of have to rotate and change things up as they start looking not as great. So what I am doing, I'm going to cut below where the flowers were, and you can see all the seed pods are off. And this is something that you can do with other types of flowers as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be bulbs, and it's called deadheading. And if you deadhead certain types of flowers, like dahlias is a good one, you will stop the plant from making seed pods and putting its energy into seed pods, and it just thinks, oh, I need to create more flowers to create more seed pods. So you actually get a much better display through the summer. With something that only flowers once like this, that won't work. But a lot of repeat flowering stuff does also put on a great show as well if you do keep up with your deadheading. I just have one last thing to show you in the garden before we have a lozok on the seats. And this is probably going to be quite boring to most people, but our council have recently introduced that you have to pay for your green bin. They're still collecting food waste, but they're not collecting garden waste. And I'm like, my garden is tiny. I hardly have any garden waste. Is it really worth me paying for it? And also having the big green bin taking up lots of space. So what I've done is I've made myself a little compost heap here. You can't even see it, can you? So it's some dead space in the garden. Now, compost heaps really are supposed to be in the sun to help you, to help them break down in the heat. But as you can see, sunny spots are at a premium in my garden. So I've not done it in the sun, but let me show you this secret little compost heap, which I am hoping it will compost, but I guess we'll see. I'll check in this time next year just to see how we got on, whether we actually got any compost out of it.
One eternity later.
It is possible I fell asleep in the sun this afternoon and may have got a little bit crispy, but we are on our way to the Peak District now. And if it looks like I'm on a different car, then I am. There's my car. It's died. Chris's mum and dad have very kindly lent us their car while they've gone away. And it's a really cool car too. Good morning, everybody. As you can see, we are back in my tropical garden after a really special night last night. Chris and I went to Castleton and had a lovely tea. Then we walked up Mam Tor for the sunset, which is exactly what I did last year. But of course, this year I had Chris with me, which was just so nice. It's so wonderful to spend time together anyway, but it was nice that he could come and experience something like that with me. So really lovely time. You might be able to tell today is very similar in weather. So it's very warm, it's very muggy and humid, and again it's quite grey. But today's supposed to be kind of sunny off and on, and then about 4 o'clock we've got thunder and lightning storm coming, which hopefully will clear the air and everything will feel a lot fresher and less muggy. As promised, I'm going to have a little chat about my summer bucket list, which I have written down here. And the summer bucket list is a concept that I have found out on Pinterest. I've only just become a Pinterest girly this past couple of years, as well as just being a YouTube girly over these past few years. So this is probably something I would have done when I was a teenager, but why not do it now? Let's relive our inner child. And your summer bucket list is supposed to be things that you really want to do over summer. And this year I do have some trips planned, but they're not tropical, they're not like really big trips, so I need to be realistic with what I want to do in my bucket list this year. So it's not swimming with whale sharks, which is on my bucket list, like my full bucket list. It's very realistic things, and I've actually written them all down, and I've realized that firstly there's some things I've already done or I've already started, and some are definitely more aims than others. But there are a couple actual bucket list items that I would like to do this summer. So the two things that I have already done or I've already started, one of them was to clear out my wardrobe because it was just looking slightly ridiculous. And yes, I've done that. My wardrobe is looking a lot clearer and I am able to figure out a lot better what to wear. And my other one is that I really want to keep my nails neat and bright. And you might be able to see, or you might have seen them before, that I have been getting my nails done. And I am just really bad for having very scruffy nails. Like, there's no way I'd show you my toenails right now. They are disgusting. But I just feel so much better when I have my nails done. And I have something called dermatillomania, which is where I pick my skin. And bizarrely, I actually find it much more difficult to pick my skin when I have my nails done. And then my aims when it comes to summer, these are very similar every summer, really. And sometimes I just run out of energy or run out of being bothered, and I get to this end of the summer and I'm sad that I didn't do more of these things, but I want to get out more on my paddleboard more. I want to swim outside more, and I want to do more evening hikes, a lot like we did last night, because it's so bright here in the summer, and there's just something about being out in the twilight that just makes me feel like a kid again. It makes me feel like running around in my garden until the very last minute, till my parents are like, it's time to come in now, seriously. So I do love that feeling, and it's also just a beautiful temperature. Everywhere looks just so amazing. So yeah, more evening hikes for me. I want to eat more tropical fruit, which is so basic, but tropical fruit is so expensive in the UK, so I can't bring myself to buy it all the time, but I love it, and it does make me feel so much better when I eat tropical fruit. I want to learn more Spanish. I'm looking good on Duolingo, but actually conversationally, I'm not great at Spanish. I'm okay at reading it, not great at understanding, and I have quite a limited speaking vocabulary, so I'd really, really like to work on that a lot more. I want to get fitter. I've been feeling very fatigued in recent months, and exercise has made that worse. So I am feeling a bit better now, and I do feel like I'm able to do a bit more exercise. So I'm really hoping to do a bit more, little and often. I started going to Zumba last week, which I love because I love dancing. You guys all know this. I love to throw it down. I go to Pilates as well because that does make me feel better. So I'm really hoping to continue with that. And as long as I feel okay, carry on pushing on it with it a bit further. I want to wear cute outfits for no reason. And I'm really bad for just wearing joggers and a t-shirt all the time, or shorts and a t-shirt. I love shorts and a t-shirt in the summer, but why can't I wear cute outfits for no reason, you know? The other week when I first went to the nail salon, I actually wore a little summer dress for no real reason, and I really want to try and do that more. I want to really, really look after my hair this summer, and actually I'm going through a good run at the moment. I don't have many split ends, and I have scalp psoriasis, but it's really not bad at the moment. So what I'm doing at the moment is working, so I'm going to continue with that, and I'm really hoping to grow my hair even more. So it is quite long at the moment. I'm not against dyeing it brown completely, but I'm just going to grow it and keep trimming out my split ends and see how far we can get. I want to get really tanned, and I don't think this one's super possible this year. Maybe it'll just be as tanned as possible for this year, because this time last year I'd been to Costa Rica for 2 weeks, and I'd been for a week in Mallorca where I was just outside all the time. Now it's been all right in the UK, and I have sat out a lot, but there's a big difference between being in the UK and sitting out in the evening to being on holiday in a tropical country where you're outside all the time. So we'll see how we get on with the tan this year. My final aim is to smell like coconuts. No real reason. Why not? I want to smell like coconuts. I have a couple of tick box things I would really like to do over summer. One of which is a new tattoo. I've been thinking about this a little while, and I do have an idea of what I would want. So more to come on that very soon. I still adore my palm tree. I still love all of my finger ones, but I heard this, once you get one, you do get the itch for more. I would like a new ear piercing as well, so I have got a couple of holes already, but maybe I'd like to go a bit higher up on this ear. Again, watch the space, see what I get. I want to go for a girly day in a beer garden. I feel like I've not done that for years, maybe pre-COVID. And actually the other night I did go out with my work friends in an outside place in Manchester. In Manchester, we don't necessarily have beer gardens, with it being the city centre, but it was a really nice time. I'm not classing that one as ticked off yet, but we're definitely getting there. It's actually just started to rain, which is good timing because I've come to my very last item, which is to wear a big flower in my hair. I don't think that's that difficult. You know, a nice big hibiscus or something like that. So even though I'm not going on a tropical holiday, hopefully I can find a nice hibiscus. Given that it's just started raining, I'm going to go in, but I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with my day. I'm thinking maybe going swimming at Sale Water Park or something like that. Something that is on my aims list. So let's see. I'll keep an eye on the weather, and I'll get something else in today, I think. The weather for the rest of the day was really not nice at all. It was either raining or it was so humid we couldn't function. We were supposed to have a big thunder and lightning storm, but it never came, and things did start clearing up by the evening. So we went for a walk to Tesco, and although I didn't do anything from my summer bucket list on the first day of summer, I did try and wear a cute outfit, and I did buy some mangoes. But Chris and I actually had a really nice evening, sat outside with Henning as well, and it's much fresher now, thankfully, as we head to bed soon. So this video is finishing up where it began at least 36 hours ago, and today may not have been the perfect start of summer day, but it is now 11:15 at night and we're still sat outside in shorts and a t-shirt, so I can't say it's been that bad of a day at all. I've decided that this is going to be a great summer, so I really hope you join me this summer on my channel for more fun vlogs, whether that's lifestyle or travel or more gardening. Let me know if you want more gardening. Anyway, I will see you next time.